What's up YouTube? So today I'm going to show you guys how to install a 14-inch ceiling light fixture from Costco. And if your house is anything like mine, you're going to have a ceiling cover with pre-existing wires that looks like that. And then we're also going to put in a switch right here with pre-existing wires. Here are the tools you're going to need to get the job done. We have a flathead, screwdriver, non-contact voltage pen. This is very important for your safety to make sure that there are no electricity going through the wires. And you have your pre-cut holes wire cutter, another wire cutter, light switch, and the wall plate for your light switch. And of course, we are going to need a ladder to get the job done. Our ceiling height is 9 feet, so I have a 6-foot ladder. Depending on the height of your ceiling, you might need a taller ladder. Another thing you will need is electrical tape to wrap the exposed wires around so there's no chance of being in contact with anything else to avoid any, fires or whatnot. So I do highly recommend someone to help you because it will be very tough if you're doing this by yourself. You will need someone to help hold the light fixture until you hook up all the wires necessary and get the screws in place. If you are doing it by yourself, I'll recommend using like a heavy duty string to hook it up to the main light fixture until you do get it hooked up. The most important thing you want to do is go to your breaker box and shut off power to the room that you are working in. So we're going to shut off the family room. It's right here. So we're just going to turn it off by flipping the switch, and there you have it. Alright, so we're going to take our voltage pen and we're going to turn it on, and we're going to go to a power source that has electricity to make sure that the voltage pen works. Alright, so we know this has power and that the voltage pen works. We took off the ceiling light cover and we're gonna take our voltage pen, turn it on, make sure test for no power. All right, we look good. And we're gonna pull them out. See if we're gonna pull these out. They're pretty tough to get out sometimes. All right, there we go. All right. So here, this red one looks like could be to your ceiling fan. We're not gonna need that because we're not installing a ceiling fan. This is your power. This is probably the off switch, on switch. And this, it will be your ground wire. So we want about, same as the light fixture, we wanna cut about, and 1/2 inch to 1 inch of the sheath that's surrounding the actual copper wire for each one, except for the red one, since we're not going to use that. But if you are going to use a red wire, which is usually meant for ceiling fans, go ahead and cut that as well. Now that we got these two of the wires sheaths cut, we can move on to the next step, which is pretty easy if you passed coloring in kindergarten with flying colors. So you want to actually connect the black wire to the black and the light fixture, white with the white, and the ground with the ground. This is not white. This is actually, I guess the contractors, when they first built this home, did a crappy job, painted everywhere. This is actually the ground wire, straight copper. You also want to take this temporary plastic piece off. This is only here for temporarily. We won't be needing this. Now that we have the plastic piece off, you want to take these mounting screws because we will need that to install the light fixture. Now that we took off the mounting screws, we're ready to install. So we're not gonna need this red one since we're not having a ceiling fan. So we're gonna can tuck this back in there so it doesn't get in the way. There we go. And so this part will be very easy if you passed your coloring test in kindergarten. So it's very simple. The black wire goes to the black, white wire to the white. I don't know if you guys can see it. And then the ground copper wire to the greenish yellowish wire to the white. And for if you can't see well, it looks like there's two white wires, but one of them is actually a straight copper wire. The contractors who first built this home didn't do a good job, so that's probably why it's oversprayed with white. So here's what it looks like with a white wire test with a white wire. And so what we're gonna do is put electrical tape on it, and that will be complete, and we will do this step for each and every single wire. So here's what it should look like after you hooked up all the wires and covered it with electrical tape. Now all we need to do is just push these wires back in the ceiling and put the screws back on, and that's pretty much close to being done. Okay, now that the hardest part is over, you hooked up the wires, you screwed those mounting screws back into place, which would be this one here and this one here. And now it's time for the light switches. After opening the wall plate, you see we have 4 wires. So this copper one right here, this is gonna be your ground wire. These 2 black ones is gonna be your on and off switch. And I believe the red wire is if you wanna put a ceiling light fan on there for the fan part. First thing you wanna do is grab your non-contact voltage pen, turn it on. It should light up green. And if you go under, go near these. If it doesn't go off, that's good, the power is off. If it does make noise, then it means there are power. For these, I would recommend cutting about a little bit longer than ½ an inch and maybe about 1 inch at the most. These will wrap around your light switch. You got one of these will be the on and off. I'm not sure exactly which one. Usually the bottom is off and the top one is on. So I will probably figure out once I dig in there which one's what. And if it is wrong, then you can always switch it around. So now we are gonna install the light switch. We're gonna put the ground wire, the copper wire, to the green screw, the 2 black wires to these top and bottom screw, which is the on switch and the off switch. And that's dependent on how it's configured inside. And if you don't like the on and off switch the way in the top or the bottom, you can always switch it. All right, so here's what it looks like after you hook up the wires to the switch and you screw in these screws to make sure they're fast and tightened. And yeah, we're good to go. And we're gonna put these this light switch in, screw it back in. Oh, another thing to note, we have to take this screw out. I don't know if you can see it. These 2 bottom screws, forgot to do that. So I'll take them out and we're gonna install them, put them right there in these holes. Now that we got the ceiling light installed on there, we are going to install the actual cover for it, which consists of this glass light cover and this metal bracket that's going to hold it in place. You see they have 3 holes, like 1, 2, 3, and we got these 3 fasteners that's going to hold that in place. So yep, gonna do that right now. All right. Now that the cover is installed, we are gonna go turn the breaker back on and we're gonna test it out. All right, it's the moment of truth. Just turned on the power for this room. So let's turn this switch on. Let's see the magic happen. Hey, it works. We don't have to go for another try and fix anything. All right guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope this video helps you out on installing your own fixed ceiling light. And I will have links in the description below if you guys ever need tools or anything else required for this installation. And don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.